Hey everybody, this is Jay, and today I want to talk about payment processors for your dropshipping business, for your Shopify business. And the reason for this video is because a lot of people have been asking me what they should do when it comes to the payment processors. And I know that this is one of the most common issues that everyone has, because always, no matter how much money you're making, no matter where you are from, you will have problems with your payment processor. But that is something that we just have to accept in order to create a really big business. So this is the nature of the game, but you have to deal with all the problems that you have in front of you in order to succeed. So I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker, but first of all, I have to tell you that I am not a lawyer, so I cannot tell you specifically what you should do, and my advice will be that you should talk with an expert in your country, in your city, in your state, in order to find out what is the best option for you. But in general here, guys, the main thing about this video is that always the best option for everyone will be to create a company in the US. So you will have to create an LLC in the US. You don't have to create a corporation. That is something more advanced, and a corporation only makes sense if you are from the US. But other than that, an LLC will be the best option for almost everyone, even if you have access to Stripe and PayPal and all of that. For example, if you're from Canada, you will have access to everything, and if the same thing happens if you're in Europe and all of that. But even if this is the case, it is going to be better to have a US LLC. And if you are not able to have a US LLC, the next best option will be to have a UK company. I think that the name is LLP. I am not really sure, but it is a similar thing. So you need to have a US LLC because this will help you a lot with your business bank accounts, and this will help you a lot to verify your accounts. For example, if you want to verify your account here on PayPal, then it is going to be better that you have an LLC in the US and that you have an EIN and all of that. So it is always better to have a US company. And at the same time, almost every payment processor will accept you as a client just because you have a business bank account in the US, for example in Wells Fargo or in Chase. So always you should look for a way to create this company. And I will make a video about how to do that, but I know that maybe a lot of people will not like this answer, but this is the reality. This is the best option if you are not from the US, and if you are from the US, still creating an LLC will be the best option. So always look for a way to go to the US and create a company there, because it is super cheap. Usually it will cost you just like $150, and you just have to travel to the US. For some of you, I know that it is going to be super difficult, but you have to find a way to make this happen if you want to have a successful business. So I will talk a little bit more about this at the end, but in general, you have to create a company in the US. This is going to be the best option. Now, specifically when we are talking about payment processors, the best options are going to be Stripe and PayPal. Stripe is basically the best company that everyone is using right now. So in order to create a Stripe account, this is going to be super simple, super fast, and if you have a US LLC, then everything is going to be way more simple. So this is essential because Stripe will put everything in the correct place and everything will be super easy. So Stripe will be the best option, and at the same time, they will send the money in the most efficient way. And PayPal is the best option just because a lot of people like to pay on PayPal. So PayPal is not the best option when it comes to, as a business owner, PayPal is not the best option because PayPal will give you a lot of headaches. They will always try to ban you, they will hold your money, but a lot of people like to pay on PayPal. So that's why you need to have this on your business. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that if you don't have PayPal, then your store is not gonna work and that all of a sudden you will not have sales just because you don't have PayPal. The reality is that if your website is fine, if your marketing is fine, if everything is working correctly, you will get sales no matter what payment processor you are using. So I was using for a long time just Stripe, and I was getting a lot of sales without a problem. And I am having a lot of problems still with PayPal, but that is something, as I said before, that you have to deal with. And I am dealing with PayPal, but if you can and if it is possible for you, you should add PayPal as a payment processor in your website. Also, something important is that you always need different payment processors. You need backups in order to have a solid business, because as I said before, even if you are making millions of dollars, PayPal will ban your account. And you will have problems with your payment processors, but that's why you need as much payment processors as you can. Of course, you don't need like 100 payment processors, but the more payment processors you have, the more backups you have, the more backup accounts you have, the better. So that is the nature of the game, and you have to deal with that. Now, I have not a lot of experience with these alternatives because always I was able to use Stripe and PayPal, but from what I know, a lot of people have created really big businesses just by using To Checkout and Payoneer, and some of them are using Skrill. And the thing that you have to understand also is that you have to look for the options that are available in your country. So maybe if your country is restricted, if your country, for example, if you cannot have a PayPal account or a Stripe account, then you have to look for any option that you have in your country. For example, here in Latin America, there are a lot of companies that only work with Latin American companies. So that's why you have to talk with friends, you have to find people that are doing the same thing as you in your country in order to know which are the best options for you. But from what I know, even if you are from a country like Nigeria, from Iran, from Pakistan, and all of that, you can create a company in the US or in the UK. So you always have to find a solution to all the problems that you have in front of you. You don't have to make excuses. And again, this is not a motivational video, but always, if you're able to find a solution, you are going to achieve your goals. So always look for a solution, no matter what you have to do. If you have to work in the US in a summer camp, then look for a way to do that. If you have to go to the UK and work as a bus driver, then do that. Because if you do those things, you are going to have massive success. And for example, here in Latin America, a lot of people are making just $300 a month. That is the average salary. However, because I found the solutions to the problems that I had in my business, even though I had some disadvantages, now that's why I am making way more money than the average person. And that's why I am able to make 10,000 times more than the average person here. Just because I was able to find all of those solutions. But in general, if you are not able to use Stripe and PayPal, then you should use an option that you can choose is To Checkout. I think that you have to connect Payoneer and To Checkout. I am not really sure because I have not a lot of experience with these alternative options. I was able to use PayPal and Stripe just because I created my US LLC. So that's why I don't have a lot of experience right here. So maybe To Checkout will be your option. Maybe connecting To Checkout with Payoneer will be your option, or maybe you will have to look for an option like Skrill. And unauthorized.net is something that a lot of people are using, even if they are making millions of dollars, because authorized.net will give you like more flexibility when it comes to the money that will come in your business. So authorized.net can be an option for you. And as I said before, you have to look for any option that is available in your country. And here guys, before we end this video, if you're from the US, even if you can start just with your social security number and with a personal bank account, my personal advice will be that you should create an LLC. If you are from a country like Canada, from Spain, Germany, France, from the European Union, if you're from Malaysia, Singapore, or if you're from Australia, New Zealand, then even though you have access to Stripe and PayPal, a better option will be to create an LLC in the US, because this will give you better conversion rates and this will give you, everything will be easier just because your business will be in the US. So everything will be easier. It will be easier for you to pay for your virtual assistants. It will be easier to pay to your suppliers, to your employees and all that. So everything will be easier with a US LLC. If you are from Latin America, from India, or a country that maybe has a lot of restrictions when it comes to Stripe or PayPal, but if you have access to PayPal and Stripe, then again a better option will be to create a company in the US. And something important if you are starting out is that realistically you can start with any option that you want, because if your website is working correctly, if everything looks professional and if everything looks nice, and if you chose a winning product, then you will start to get sales, no matter what payment processor you are using. That is the reality. So don't blame your payment processor if you are not having sales, because probably there is an issue with your website instead of your payment processor. Of course, as soon as you can, you have to get the best payment processor you can, but realistically, you're gonna start making a decent amount of money with any option that you have in your country. So the last situation here is that if you live in a country that is restricted, where maybe PayPal is not available, where a lot of payment processors are not available, then you just have to look for a solution right here, for a solution that other people in your country are using. And in general, you have to look for a way to create a company in the US or in the UK. Or maybe you have to create a company in another country that is available for you. For example, maybe if you're in Pakistan, I don't know if you can create a company in India, because in India I think that they have access to Stripe. So maybe that can be an option for you. Or maybe if you are from Pakistan, you have to look for a country that will allow you to create a business bank account. I don't know, maybe you can go to the United Arab Emirates, for example. I don't know, I am not really sure about your country, but you have to look always for a solution. For example, if you are from Latin America, the best option will be to go to the US, but maybe you just have to go to another country, because maybe that country will allow you to create a business and a business bank account that will have access to Stripe and PayPal. So always look for solutions. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. I will continue making more videos about all of this. I hope that this was useful for you. So I will see you in the next video.